my gosh, you guys. I am literally shaking right now just thinking about what our poor Chelsea Hamilton is going through. Can we please take a massive moment to talk about the absolute sheer terror of this 1 year anniversary storyline? I mean, I have been watching this show religiously, and nothing, and I mean nothing, has had me on the edge of my seat. Quite like the return of the Allison trauma. For the past few episodes, we have watched Chelsea walking on eggshells, completely paralyzed by those terrifying silent hang-up calls. I was screaming at my screen, "Someone protect Chelsea." The psychological warfare of receiving those calls exactly 1 year after being kidnapped and held hostage in that creepy cabin for a fake wedding, it is pure, unadulterated nightmare fuel. I cannot even begin to imagine the level of PTSD she is dealing with right now. And then the moment happened. The moment that absolutely broke my heart into a million tiny pieces. Chelsea sitting there, completely hyperventilating, sobbing uncontrollably as she holds a physical letter from Allison. Yes, a letter from Allison. When I saw her hands shaking, the tears streaming down her face, staining the paper, I felt that in my soul. This is not just some random drama. This is deep, profound trauma resurfacing. Chelsea is completely terrified. And who could blame her? Allison stalked her, manipulated her, isolated her from her family, and held her captive. The mere sight of Allison's handwriting is enough to send anyone into a full-blown panic attack. I was crying right along with her, guys. It was such a raw, visceral scene that perfectly captured the devastating aftermath of surviving a stalker. But let's talk about the absolute MVP of this entire situation. Catherine Kat Richardson. Is anyone else as obsessed with Kat right now as I am? Kat is proving to be the ultimate cousin, best friend, and business partner, all rolled into one fierce, protective package. When Kat saw Chelsea breaking down over that letter, she immediately stepped in with so much empathy and grace. Kat looked Chelsea dead in the eyes and told her that she absolutely did not have to read it. She gave Chelsea the permission to protect her peace, to throw that toxic piece of paper in the trash, and to walk away. Kat knows that reading the words of an abuser can sometimes do more harm than good, and she just wanted to shield Chelsea from any more pain. The growth in Kat's character is astounding. From the petty cousin rivalry to this fiercely loyal protector who literally donated a piece of her liver to save a life, Kat is showing us what true family looks like. However, despite Kat giving her the ultimate out, Chelsea did something that left me completely speechless. Chelsea gathered her courage and decided to read the letter. Are you kidding me? The sheer bravery it takes to unfold a letter from the person who tortured you, that is monumental. Chelsea realized that she could not keep running. She could not spend the rest of her life hiding from reality, jumping at every shadow and panicking at every silent phone call. She needed to know exactly what Allison wanted from her. She needed to look her trauma straight in the face and say, "I am not afraid of you anymore." I was cheering for her through my tears. This is the empowerment arc that Chelsea deserves. She is taking her power back, refusing to be the helpless victim Allison wants her to. Now, this brings us to the million-dollar question that has the entire fandom divided right now. Drop a comment down below and tell me, do you guys think Allison is sending teasing, threatening messages to Chelsea? Because at first glance, especially with those creepy silent phone calls, it totally feels like a threat, right? It feels like the classic horror movie trope where the villain promises to return and finish what they started. When we found out Jacob Hawthorne did a background check and confirmed Allison was locked up in a mental health facility without phone access, I was so relieved. But then we saw the timeline reveal that Allison has been writing letters and putting them in a box. It gave me absolute chills. Is she plotting her revenge? Is she trying to torment Chelsea from behind locked doors? But wait, let's take a massive step back and look at this from a completely different angle. I have a theory. And I know some of you in the comments have been saying the exact same thing. What if Allison has actually changed? I know. Hear me out before you call me crazy. Allison is in a mental health facility, receiving intense psychiatric care. What if the therapy and the medication are actually working? What if the fog of her obsession has finally lifted and she is being forced to confront the horrific reality of the monster she became? What if this letter isn't a threat at all, but a deeply sincere, heartbreaking apology? Think about it. The timeline explicitly stated that Allison was writing letters to Chelsea and storing them in a box. She wasn't sending them, she was hoarding them. Why would a psycho stalker hoard threatening letters? They wouldn't. They would send them to cause terror. But someone who is overwhelmed by a guilty conscience, someone who is drowning in remorse and doesn't know how to ask for forgiveness, they write letters and hide them in a box. I genuinely believe that Allison has spent her time in that facility writing dozens, maybe hundreds of unsent letters to Chelsea, trying to find the exact right words to express her profound regret. I think Allison finally gathered every single ounce of courage she had to take just one of those letters out of the box and actually mail it. I think the letter Chelsea is sobbing over is filled with genuine remorse. It is not a promise of violence. It is a promise to stay away. I think Allison is writing to say, I am so sorry for breaking you. I am getting help. I will never, ever come near you again. Can you imagine the emotional impact of that? Instead of a horror story, this becomes a story of closure. And let me tell you, it is absolutely time for Chelsea to get her peace. This poor woman has been through the ringer. She deserves to live her life with Dr. Madison Montgomery without constantly looking over her shoulder. She deserves to run the Chelsea cat fashion empire without the looming shadow of her kidnapper hanging over her head. If this letter is truly an apology, it could be the exact key Chelsea needs to finally unlock the chains of her trauma. It could be the closure that allows her to breathe again. I want that for her so badly. I want Chelsea to read those words, realize that Allison is no longer a threat, and finally let go of the terror that has been consuming her for the past year. But, and this is a massive, gigantic but, if I am wrong, if my theory is completely off base and Allison is actually sending more psychotic, threatening garbage to mess with Chelsea's head, oh, she has another thing coming. Because if Allison thinks she can just waltz back into Chelsea's life and start her reign of terror all over again, she is severely underestimating the Dupree Richardson Hawthorne family. And most importantly, she is severely underestimating Kat Richardson. If Allison sends one single threat, Kat will absolutely destroy her. I am not even joking. Kat has evolved into this fierce, protective lioness who will not hesitate to go to war for the people she loves. We saw how Kat handled the entire Tomas Navarro proposal disaster. We saw how she handled the liver transplant for Eva. Kat does not play games anymore. She is a woman who knows her worth and knows the value of her family. If Allison crosses that line, Kat will team up with Chelsea, and together they will teach that stalker a lesson she will never forget. Can you just picture it? Kat marching down to that mental health facility, demanding to see Allison, and unleashing the absolute fury of the Richardson family upon her. You listen to me, you psychotic freak. If you ever send another piece of mail to my cousin, I will make sure you never see the light of day again. Yes, I am here for a protective Kat. I am here for the Chelsea Cat duo, taking down their enemies and protecting their peace at all costs. Allison better pray that her letter was an apology, because if it wasn't, she is going to have to deal with the wrath of a family that has survived tornadoes, plasma rings, and serial killers. Honestly, the psychological depth of this storyline is just incredible. The writers are doing such a fantastic job of portraying the lingering, suffocating effects of trauma. Chelsea's reaction was so incredibly realistic. The way trauma doesn't just disappear because the bad guy is locked up. It lingers. It waits for anniversaries. It waits for silent phone calls. But the way Chelsea is choosing to face it head on, that is the definition of strength. She is showing every single survivor out there that you do not have to let your abuser dictate your life. You can open the letter, you can read the words, and you can take your power back. And the dynamic between Chelsea and Kat is giving me absolute life. Remember when they used to bicker over the silliest things? Remember when they couldn't even share lip balm without starting a war? Now they are standing side by side, facing down literal demons from the past. The Chelsea Cat brand isn't just about fashion anymore. It is a symbol of their unbreakable bond. They are family. They are survivors. And they are not going to let anyone, especially not some deranged ex-girlfriend, tear them down. I am so incredibly invested in where this goes next. Will Chelsea write back? Will she visit the facility to look Allison in the eyes and tell her it's over? Or will she simply burn the letter, let the ashes blow away, and move on with her beautiful life? I personally hope she burns. I hope she reads the apology, realizes she holds all the power, and sets that piece of paper on fire. Let it go. Chelsea, you are free. What do you guys think? Are you on team apology or team threat? Do you think Allison is actually cured, or is this just another sick, twisted manipulation tactic to get back into Chelsea's head? And how iconic would it be if Kat actually went to confront Allison face to face? I need to hear all your theories, all your rants, and all your emotions in the comment section right now. Do not hold back, because this storyline is absolute fire, and we need to discuss every single detail. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's rant, guys. If you love this deep dive into the Chelsea and Allison drama, please smash that like button, share this with your fellow Beyond the Gates obsessed friends, and make sure you are subscribed so you never miss an update. The drama in Fairmont Crest is only getting hotter, and I will be right here to break it all down with you. Until next time, stay safe, protect your peace, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.